Hey, what's going on YouTube? So I know we're starting out the video a little bit different today. I'm actually halfway through my work day right now. I have about 300-mile commute today, so during all that driving I figured why not shoot another video for you guys. So for those wondering what I actually do for a living, because I've seen a few joke comments in the sections, you know, along the lines of, oh, you know, are you hiring? Or, oh man, this guy's got a lot of money, he got sweet cars. Like a lot of people that own trucks, I work in the construction industry. I'm a general contractor and I'm a residential and commercial building inspector. So today, I'm located in South Florida. So if you're from the area, I live up in Palm Beach County, and today I'm driving down to Homestead, Florida City, to do 2 inspections and some estimates for a lawyer's office. And then they have me driving over to Miami, Coral Gables area, right by the University of Miami, to go do some more estimates over there. So if you know the area, you know it's a lot of driving. You know, figured, you know, why not film for you guys, make use of the time instead of just sitting here listening to music. So today, what we're actually going to talk about is I'm going to give you another update on the BDS lift kit. So I've had the BDS lift kit installed on my Ram Rebel now for almost 8 months. So let's just say 7 months. For a little over 25,000 miles I put on the truck, on the kit, in those 7 months. Most of those miles have been commuter miles, a lot of highway driving, a lot of city driving for work, a little bit of mild off-roading. You know, when I say off-roading, remember, I live in South Florida. The highest elevation here in Florida are the landfills. You know, there's no real rock climbing. You know, I'm not out there running Baja or anything like that. So it's very mild off-roading, and the majority of the off-roading I've even done has been, you know, driving through construction sites or driving through muddy dirt roads, just stuff like that. So with these air ride equipped Ram 1500s, you get a really smooth ride. You know, that's kind of important if you're driving around a lot. You want a comfortable ride. You don't want anything too stiff. You don't want anything too bouncy, because you just want to enjoy the ride. So for the past 7 months, what I can really say about the kit is that I haven't really lost too much of the comfort, you know, with going with the BDS. It is a little bit stiffer in the rear because of the Fox shocks, but it's really not that noticeable. On the road, it's still really smooth. It drives nice. I really have no complaints as far as that goes. Another good positive about the BDS is that it still looks really good as well on the truck. In South Florida, you're really close to the ocean. A lot of salt water when it rains, and you know, driving through the roads, you know, picking up the water, and then, you know, just going to the beach as well. And I don't have any rust spots on the BDS, and I don't have any rust spots on the Fox shocks as well. So in my opinion, that's a really big plus. So now let me tell you a little bit about my dealership experience. Like I have mentioned in some of my past videos, I've always planned on bringing this truck in to get a system recharge, I think they call it, where they basically update the air suspension, they update all the parameters, and they put more nitrogen into the system just in case any of it was leaked out through the installation or anything like that. So I called up my local dealership. Keep in mind, I've bought 3 vehicles from this dealership, this truck being one of them. But, you know, I don't do any services there really. I do all my own oil changes, stuff like that. So the service department doesn't really know me. So, you know, that is what it is. But I go in there, I make the appointment, I tell them, okay, look, Ram Rebel, I want to bring it in for a system recharge. I have a lift kit on it. I'm not looking for any warranty work. I'm willing to pay for this. You know, can you guys do it? So, you know, we scheduled an appointment. They couldn't do it that day. I think they were charging $280, somewhere around there. You know, but like I said, I was willing to pay for it because I've had an issue ever since the lift kit went on that it won't go into aero mode anymore when I'm driving. And I know a lot of you have said, oh, you have to go into your app settings and you can change it. Trust me, it's already on. It's just not working for me. So I figured, hey, maybe the recharge would do it. So like I said, made the appointment. I show up, you know, go talk to the service advisor. They come out to check the truck, and they didn't want to take it. They were basically refusing to work on the truck since I had put the lift kit on it. I told them, look, I'm not trying to get any warranty work. I'm willing to pay for it. I don't mind paying for it. I understand that I might have avoided all the suspension warranty by putting something aftermarket on. I'm fine with that. I just want you guys to do the recharge because, one, you're the dealership I always come to. Secondly, there's no other dealerships close to me. And three, it's not like this kind of job can be done at any other sort of place. If it could have been done at, you know, any other garage, I probably would go there because I'm not a big fan of going to the dealership. But, you know, it can't be. It has to be done at the dealer. So it was kind of disappointing to have to, you know, waste my time going there twice, being told that they would do the job, and then, you know, when I actually show up, they wouldn't do it. You know, even though I'm willing to pay, but okay, whatever. It's first world problems, but that's the story of the dealer. Look at this fucking traffic, man. Miami fucking sucks. This is Miami for you. You know, you might see it on TV, all beautiful beaches and shit. No, this is the real Miami. A bunch of construction and traffic. But I'm not gonna rant about that. Let's get back to talking about the truck. So if you've watched a few of my videos in the past, or not a few, if you've watched the second video I posted, it was the video of when I got the lift kit installed. In that video, I kind of explained how there was some issues during install. That the issue was that the truck was going into a lockout mode for the suspension, and that the truck wasn't allowing anyone to align it. But eventually they were able to figure it out, and the truck let them align it. It was able to get reset, and that it was fine. So, you know, I thought it was all good. But I noticed, you know, over the past few months that my front tires were really starting to wear kind of unevenly along the outside of the tread. So to me, that kind of looks like, you know, the truck hadn't been aligned. So I decided to bring it back to the place, and they aligned it for me. Okay, you know, we're good to go. Let's, you know, go back 2 videos ago where I installed leveling links on the truck, which raised the truck up an additional inch to keep the truck level. You know, it gets rid of the rake. So they tell you after any sort of suspension adjustment, you know, you need to get an alignment. So I got an alignment done, brought it back to the place, and they kind of said the same thing to me. Hey, you know, your tread, it's wearing kind of uneven. It looks like your truck's not aligned. You know, granted, I'm at a different shop now, so this is a different shop telling me this. I was like, yeah, I know, I got it aligned. You know, it should be good. So, you know, they did their alignment. You know, I'm all right. I'm thinking, okay, I should be good now. I had my Jeep for 3 years. I put 80-something thousand miles on the Jeep before I traded it in for this truck. I had the Pro Comp MT2 Extremes on that truck for 79,000 miles of the 80. I lifted and threw 35s on the Jeep the week I bought it. So basically for the entire duration I had the Jeep, it was on those tires. And I only ever went through that one set of tires. And when I traded the truck in, or when I traded the Jeep in, the tread on those tires were better than the front 2 tires that I currently have on my truck right now. So I don't know what the hell's going on. So that's why I'm thinking there's some sort of issue with this truck that it's not keeping an alignment. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna wait until, you know, I get back up to the house. I can jump out of the truck and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about, because, you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So let's get over to that. Alrighty, so here's what I was talking about with the misalignment. You can kind of see here all the tread, you know, more or less all the way down it's all more or less gone. And then you can kind of see in here some of the tread's still there, and you can kind of see it's even chipping away at it right there. So that is a pure indication of misalignment. And let me show you this compared to the back. Even a lot more tread at the back. And I'll take you around to the other side now. You can see this side still a lot more tread here, pretty deep on the inside, real good too. Now this is the bad one. Yeah, you can see here, really starting to get chopped away all across it. And looking at it from this side, you can see in here there's still some of the tread pattern left, but then on the outside it's more or less just all gone. So yep, that's what I was talking about. That is the major issue I'm having right now, is the truck just not staying in alignment. I don't really know how to really correct that. I might have to bring it to the shop and have them throw it on the alignment rack again and just check. Maybe disable, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, that's really the only complaint I have. And then, like I was saying, it still looks real good. You know, no rust on the main connection up here. The upper control arm still looks real good. And then come around to the back, I can show you up under here. Everything here still looks real good. There's the shock, still looks real good. Yeah, even the stock upper control arms or lower control arms, no rust on them. So I can't complain too much about the BDS. I think it's just my Rebel is kind of a pain in the ass right now. But I know I've been kind of slacking on the uploads lately, and if you can't tell, we're kind of in a new spot now. I've been real busy over here with this project, a full renovation on the new place. So this is winding down, almost done with this, so I can start focusing on this again. So if you like this little video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down and below. Really appreciate that. Stick around for the next one. Thanks guys.